Hi, I'm Donna Fields and welcome to CLIL Scaffolding 9. It's a series of webinars designed to give you support for using scaffolding in your lessons. Today we're going to use scaffolding technique number 60 that you can find in my book, 101 Scaffolding Techniques for Language Teaching and Learning, that's also been translated into Spanish. A lot of you probably know that the mind learns new knowledge on the foundation of older knowledge. Scaffolding is a way to activate this past knowledge to help students to move forward in their learning. Today's objective is to use humor to scaffold material. I'm going to show you in a primary-secondary lesson, but you can use it with any group you need it for. Scaffolding technique number 60 is called Who's on First, and it refers to a famous comedy routine that was funny because of its many misunderstandings. We're going to use the same technique to pre-present material to students so that they're distracted a bit from the fact that they're learning content in a language that's not their home language. Are you ready to see how this works in a secondary classroom? Let's try a history lesson. We've taken all the information from a chapter and turned it into multiple choice questions. You can give more options if you want to, challenging your students even more. In this case, I've only given 2 options. So the first question I've asked is, what did the Celtic people do for food? The first option is they stole food from their neighbors, and the second is they raised livestock, sheep, goats, and pigs, and also knew a lot about agriculture and metallurgy. The correct answer is obviously the second. However, the students have to read the first option to know that it's not correct, and hopefully they'll find it funny, be surprised, realize this is not the typical multiple choice test they're used to, and begin to become more involved. Afterwards, if they insist that the correct answer is option 1, let them. Probably some Celts did steal from their neighbors. The point is that they have to speak about it, justify it, and answer everything verbally. That's what we want. What's more, each question is written deliberately. They both have vocabulary the students will see in the chapter later. Neighbors, agriculture, metallurgy, and livestock, for instance. And we've gone even further because in the textbook, the word livestock isn't defined. Here you've defined it for them, sheep, goats, pigs, etc., so that they have more of a chance of understanding it when they see it later in the chapter. We continue with the next question. Where did the Celtic people live? The first option is they lived in fortified settlements called casters. Their dwellings were circular. Option 2 is in large boats with wings. Well, again, if they pick option 2, they just need to justify why they believe the Celts lived in winged boats. In any case, the vocabulary, boats, wings, settlements, casters, dwelling, are from the chapter. We've just mixed them up into humorous sentences. Question 3 is in the same vein. What was one of the differences between the Celtic and Iberian peoples? Option 1 is the Celts lived in underwater igloos. Option 2 is the Iberians lived in rectangular settlements that were walled. Again, they can argue that option 1 could be correct, but they have to understand the sentence to be able to argue this verbally. And that's what we want them to do. They're going to see the vocabulary in other parts of the chapter, just not in this order, and they will have interacted with it. How about if we try it with primary now? Let's try it with a lower primary math class. So you show them an object, and the first question you might ask is, what is this? And option 1 is a purple bicycle. Option 2 is a yellow square. Obviously, it's a yellow square, but they have to read option 1 to know that that one isn't correct, and the vocabulary is useful to them. With question 2, I'm sure you could probably think of something even more imaginative than this, but I wrote a red mountain with no trees, and option 2 is a green triangle. Well, hopefully they're going to say a green triangle, but even I'm interested in whether they could justify saying that the correct answer is a red mountain with no trees. Try it, why not? And number 3, option 1 is a blue hexagon, and option 2 is an ice cream cone with 5 sides. Well, first of all, it's not an ice cream cone, and it has 6 sides. So once they realize that, some of them are going to make the connection that a hexagon has 6 sides. So you've now given them a definition of a hexagon. Let them make the cognitive connections by themselves if possible. And that's it. Another simple scaffolding technique that I hope you can use in your classes. But look how multi-layered it is. It's actually very powerful. So all you super teachers out there, I look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. In the meantime, please send me any messages to the Pinterest, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook page, and please have fun in your classes. See you soon. Bye.